The ANC KwaZulu-Natal Chairperson Sihle Zikalala is giving a closing address of the ANC KZN Lekgotla. At the weekend, the KZN PEC took a resolution that anyone who is accused of corruption and serious cases must step down from deployment. Meanwhile, Zikalala also said that they will be engaging with all national leaders who have in the past served in the province in order to foster unity. Let's go live to KwaZulu-Natal.
But in doing all of this work, we do also need to work hard in consolidating the social compact. The social compact is more critical for us as the province and the country. In this social compact, the government needs to provide leadership to all sectors. It needs to be clear on each and every policy, but equally, all sectors need to be clear about their contribution in growing the province, addressing challenges of social ills, creating more jobs, and ensure stability. And therefore, the labour, as a critical sector, will be expected to make a meaningful contribution in this social compact. It will need to go an extra mile to conscientize those who are within the public sector unions to fight corruption. The labour will need also to go an extra mile to mobilize the labour even in the private sector to understand mechanisms that are used to advance and deal with labour disputes. The labour also need to guard against being used as a tool to advance disruptions that end up with banning of factories in various areas. In this social compact, we believe that we all have a role to play. The private sector, the business sector, must understand and will need to be mobilized to understand that it has a conscious responsibility to build a prosperous South Africa. The private sector needs to understand on the dangers of continuing to pay those who are higher, and those who are at a lower end, very low, that continues to be an exploitation of the people. The steps we have taken to implement the minimum wage is a first step, but it is not an end on its own. It is a move toward ensuring that we bring dignity to the people who are employed, especially in the private sector. This will include working with those who are in the in various industries, but it will also include engaging with farmers to ensure that the lives of farm workers and farm dwellers are improved. The conditions under which the workers in farm areas are living are appalling and are not of a country that enjoys freedom and equality. We will need to advance with speed. We will also need a buy-in and a support of the private sector in ensuring that we unbundle monopolies and create opportunities for small and medium entrepreneurs to enter and participate in the economy. With that, the social compact become a critical platform for all of us to grow South Africa. Hence we said, let's grow South Africa together. Our pledge in the manifesto was not a mere slogan, but was a pledge and a commitment to work with all sectors to grow this country. We equally even believe that the faith-based organization and religious leaders, as well as traditional leaders, have a role to play in building these social responsible citizens we want to build. The social compact we are referring to should also mobilize traditional leaders to take steps in ensuring that we fight against crime, rape, abuse of women and children. This compact must conscientize traditional leaders to know that it is not about themselves, but it is about the society they are leading. We must all work to invest in the upliftment of the people of South Africa. The religious community and the religious leaders have a place to play, have a role to play in this social compact. Their role is not only dependent on government, but their role is to be with the needy, support the poor people, fight against social ills, and instill the values of Ubuntu among the society. Ours as the African National Congress, in interacting with the religious sector and the faith-based organization, is not only about the preparation of the future, the eventuality, ukuthi uma sesinga le uyoba njani, kodwa is about creation of a better living conditions sisaphila lapha emhlabeni. And therefore, all sectors of the society have a role to play and ensure the growth of South Africa. Comrades, as we conclude, we have pledged to improve the communication with our people. Improving communication includes ensuring that we continue to engage, communicate with our people through various channels, whether we use the media and communicate with the people, but the effective communication is the one of meeting, listening, and discuss with the people in their own areas. The government that is locked in offices will always predict what people need, but the government that goes and listens to the people will provide what people need. Our communication approach should be based on a direct interaction with the people. Hence, we all agree that every month, as the ANC and our led government, we must ensure that we embark on door-to-door, meet with the people on door-to-door. We must also continue engaging with all sectors, going to churches, not occasionally, but ongoing. But also, the government must go to engage with people in a form of izimbizo. Now, there is something here where government talk to the people, but there is also a situation where government talk with the people. When we talk is when we go to address and leave. We're talking to the people. In that, we're telling them what to do and what we will be doing. But from the ANC point of view, we have learned from that understanding, that one of going to the people, work with them and listen to them. And any platform must be about listening to the people and addressing what people need. It should not be a platform only to tell people, but equally we must listen. As government, we must create more space in a form of izimbizo, even if it is not big marquees, where you end up listening to few people, but in a smaller approach, dedicated, listen to the people and ensure that we address their plight, their needs. We must also be responsible in our communication strategy, not to promise what we will not deliver, but also to answer each and every time and be honest to the people. We embrace that understanding of Leo Tzu, who said, a leader is best when he goes to the people, work with the people, among the people. When all is delivered, the people will say we've done it for ourselves. That is the approach, comrades. In the last election, it became clear that the support base of the ANC needs to be reactivated. The ANC needs to do more to reconnect with the people, especially those who live in informal settlements. The people in informal settlement, the majority of them, are becoming hopeless about the future. The ANC needs to interact with them direct, reactivate them, and work with them to improve their living conditions. eThekwini alone is home to at least 27% of people who are living in eThekwini live in informal settlement. In same also with Umsunduze and other cities. We do need to interact closer with the people who live in informal settlement and give them hope and work with them to uplift their living conditions. All of these will be a pipe dream if we don't appreciate that unity is sacrosanct. Unity for us as the ANC to work effectively, unity to provide leadership to the society. It is only a united ANC that can unite the society and lead it. If the ANC is united, the society will not depend on a divided. If the ANC is not united, the society will not depend on the ANC because it will be divided. But if the ANC is united, it will gain the trust and the support of the society. Only a united ANC can unite the society and lead it. Let us go back to the people, work with them, unite them, and lead them on a course of socio-economic transformation. In the process of the work we are doing, decisiveness will be needed. Decisiveness will be needed to ensure that all deployed cadres are implementing what they are expected to implement. Decisiveness will be needed to ensure that even when we communicate, we bring hope to our people, we communicate the same message in the same language, not with arrogancy, but also respecting each other. Where we differ, we should come inside the house, debate internally, and then communicate. We are not going in this province to allow the public sphere we have seen nationally, where leaders will speak parallel to each other, attacking each other as if we are in the exhibition. We are not for us here. It is not about an individual, but we are in an organization to work together to ensure that we address the legacy of apartheid. It is here not, in fact, we are revolutionaries. We are not celebrities. We must understand clearly, we are not here for tweeting to get more fame and be known and to become popular to the people. We are not celebrities. We are in a revolution. Our revolution will be, in fact, will always have contradictions. But contradictions will be debated inside the house. Where we differ, we should not differ on Twitter and Facebook. We should differ inside the house where we debate. We equally agree that members of the ANC who use communication platforms to undermine the integrity of the ANC need to be brought to book, need to account. Members of the ANC who goes around tweeting, writing in the social media in a derogatory manner or attacking other leaders or decisions of the movement need to be held accountable. The centrality of the ANC and the discipline of the ANC is the overarching framework that has always guided us. The ANC will always know ukuthi kunolayini nomkhombandlela. It is not about me, it is not about you, but once in the ANC a decision is taken, irrespective of how nice is that decision, we embrace it, debate it inside. Even if we meet challenges in the implementation of the decision, we come back and discuss internally, not to differ outside. Let us go out, work for our people, work for the African National Congress, and protect the ANC. Jealously guard it jealously safeguard each unity, because the ANC is the only tool at the hand of our people for their total liberation. Amandla, long live ANC, long live comrades Siyabonga. This Lekgotla is closed. Adjourned.
All right, Sihle Zikalala there, just giving the closing address to the KZN PEC. We're going to go for a quick break.